Good, what is morning to me right now, but you may be watching this at a different time. So, good day or evening or afternoon, whatever it is for you. I wanted to pop in here and give kind of the first sneak peek slash overview of our newest cross stitch planner. So, if you have been with me for a while, you know that I have released these once a year, and they have been set specifically to each year and include our challenges as well as some free patterns. So we have a cat on the move. Yeah, you're in the corner. There's a kitty. Well, she's down here. Go like this. There, Zimi's here with us. So each year these have been a dated specific for each year, and I know that I've gotten quite a bit of feedback. And myself, I've kind of been debating the idea of removing the necessity of having the very specific dates and making it where pages become unuseful. I'm not going to say useless because they could still be reworked to use, but there puts a bit of pressure on always having to get, because every week there's specific dates, and if you don't use it, then you either feel bad that you didn't write anything that week, or you have to figure out some way to reuse the page, or you just feel that it's a bit wasteful. And then I know that I've had a lot of feedback on people asking me for certain things in regards to just it being less dated, because some people base off of a school year, some people like Sundays versus Monday starts, some people don't like to write every single day in it or every single week. Sometimes some people, if you're a teacher and during the year you're very busy, but in the summer you do a ton, but you'd love to track during the time that you can, and other times you don't want to, that sort of thing. So I've gotten that feedback quite a bit, and over the years I've been debating and playing with the idea. And then just adding in, this year there was the added pressures of more costs, bringing it to different places. So, and then obviously people's budgets were a bit tighter this year. So now, you know what I mean? There's going to be planners people are getting them now, which is great. You still get the 12 patterns. You still can reuse the front of the book if you're creative enough to just change up the dates and things. But at the same time, it feels like part of the year in that planner has become kind of a waste. And I don't want the planners to go to waste because people, don't feel like they're using part of it, things like that. So starting with 2027, we will be going to a undated cross-stitch journal slash planner. This gives you the leeway to be able to use it as you feel. So if you want to use it every single month, every single day, that option is there. Or if you only want to use it on the weekends, or if you only want to use it on certain months because you're busy other months, or if life just kind of gets crazy for a month, you don't have to feel bad for skipping an entire month of your planner. So now the planner is going to be I see it more of like a kind of a scrapbook of your cross stitching, as well as a way to set yourself goals and keep your progress going, because writing goals and just making the intention of doing the thing, even if you don't get to that goal. So if you set yourself a goal of 1,000 stitches, but you only do 500, you did set that goal, and that's what got you, motivated to do even those 500, which is still progress, even if it's not hitting the goal very specifically. My cat looks like she's getting into something because she has moved from her spot here. So if I pause, it's because she's about to climb a screen or eat something she shouldn't. So I wanted to kind of give you just a quick overview of what I kind of have started so far. I'm not going to give away everything that has in there yet, and I would love to hear the feedback from you as well, because you guys are the ones that use this as well as me. So I'm going based on feedback I've heard, as well as how I use the planner. So if you have specific things that you would really love to see, if you put it in the comments below, I will go through those as I'm finishing up the prep of it. I'm hoping that by the end of this month into early June, I have it into production so that I get my sample so I can show you physically what it looks like. But I do have some samples. That's why my screen is up behind my camera, so that I can show you just a few of the things. I don't want to give away everything, but a few of the things that are going to be in this planner. With this planner, you can purchase one. These ones will be available same time as usual, so we will do a pre-order in the next week or two. They will ship in the October-November range, so you still will have it for the beginning of 2027 if you want to continue to go year over year. And if you fill it up for the entire year, then in 2028 you can purchase the same planner again and then reuse it again. So what I'm going to be doing with these, instead of just having it dated, it's going to be the same one over and over. So when you fill it, you would purchase the same one again. The difference is going to be is that when I refill my stock, I will change sort of the goodies or extras that are in it. So there's always a pen with it, but I may add something else in there. There's one new thing that I'm grabbing for this year, whereas once, say I purchase 500 and we sell the 500, as if we sell those 500 by, you know what I mean, May of next year, and I bring in more, when it comes time for you to buy your next one, you'll have different goodies within it. So the contents of the book will stay mostly the same. I will, you know what I mean, if there's some major feedback on some really great idea to add, I may add things. And what's going to happen is, instead of these being like 2026's planner, 2027's planner, it's going to be, this is our cross stitch planner, and then it's going to go into like version 2 or version 3 and so on over the years. So if things, you know what I mean, if there's an idea that I want to add, or I want to change it up just a little, or I want to add, you know, other extra goodies in it and things like that, then you'll know that if you bought version 1 for 2027, and by the time we get to 2028, if we're into version 2, you know that there may be slight differences, and I will note what the differences are between the versions as we go forward. But if I don't, it may not change by the time you need another one. So if, you know what I mean, other than this year, if we go with every other year, the 500 planners I have purchased have always sold out prior to the newer year. And when I go to do the next one, I will review the file, I will review the feedback, and I will possibly, like I said, change some of the add-ons or things like that for the next version, but there won't be actual dates within the book, so that you can use it at your leisure, and it kind of becomes more of a scrapbook / journal, as well as a planner for your crafts. It could be used, it's going to be geared to cross stitch, but all of the information in it can be used for either if you diamond paint or if you sew, things like that. You can use those areas in the same way. It's just you're not going to be counting your stitches, or like you'll be doing, okay, I need to do this, say 2 pages of my, like if you put release paper on your diamond painting, I need to do 2 pages, or I need to spend an hour diamond painting. You can reimagine it to all of your crafts in one. Other than the section that kind of keeps carry your stash. That one is a little bit closer to being like just cross stitch. But again, if you're creative enough, you can reuse these sections as well. So this video will have a lot of information kind of thrown at you, because I didn't really write down what I want to say. I just kind of want to give you guys, I'm usually around this time, I'm usually with sample in hand showing you, but I'm a bit backed up because I wanted to change the structure of it, so the prep work is a bit longer than normal. So this video is kind of the first snapshot, and then, like I said, hopefully by middle of June, I'll have the physical copy that I can go over and show. We will set the pre-orders up. I will start the pre-orders very soon, so those that don't want to see the physical sample can, you know, put their deposits down, and if you want to do the payment plans, this is the time of year that we do the payment plans, all of that stuff. So for the planner, it is going to be the same size that it is now, which is just shy of a regular piece of paper. It is going to come in the same box that it comes in now, other than I may change the design on the front. I haven't quite decided yet. It is going to not have our yearly challenges in it, nor will it have the 12 themed patterns. Inside of it, there will potentially be some reusable patterns, so things that you can add to projects you're doing, like say a set of text or numbers. I haven't quite picked exactly what I want to put in it, so I'm not saying 100% this is what's in it for patterns, but there will be some patterns in it that are you know, useful for cards or for small little gifts, things like that. So there will still be patterns in the planner. It just won't be that themed stitch like like this year's the circus. It won't have the theme. The theme will be inside of the yearly one. So what's going to happen now, instead of it all being in one book, you're going to have your planner, and then you're going to have the ability to purchase It's just going to be like a magazine. So it's going to be a stapled little book, kind of like even a calendar of sorts, the same size as the planner. And it's going to have your challenges in it each month. It's going to have a pattern for each month, the same way we do now. I'm not taking that away. I'm just moving it outside of the planner itself. So if you want at the beginning of every year, so in 2027, you want to just get the challenge paperwork. So instead of having to print it every month, grab the PDF from your email. If you want a booklet of the entire year's challenges with a pattern each month that is only in that booklet, that is going to come out in January as well. That is something that you can purchase by itself. So if you're not a planner person, or if you want to just not print it yourself, you can purchase that book before the beginning of the year. It's not going to be available in January. It's going to be available in October or so, with the ability to have it for January, so that you can have your whole year in a little book that you can and go through the year's challenges, and you can write in it. You'll have those, like I said, those exclusive patterns in there, which will still have a theme that sort of matches the theme for the free stitch along that we do. I have not picked said theme for 2027 yet, but that will be something that will be announced in the next month or two. Well, an idea will be, and we won't be showing off patterns this soon, but some of the ideas will be out there. So that's going to be separate this year and going forward. So every year you will have the little booklet, similar to like a magazine, because you'll just have each challenge and a pattern each month and a few other little fun things inside of it. So that will be something that is much easier, number one, to ship. So you guys aren't going to be, if you don't like or use planners and you want to just have the challenge, it's something that can very easily be shipped with a couple stamps, because it's just a small book like a magazine. So that's something I can get around the world much more cost effectively than a big bulky planner. For those of you who do purchase the planner for 2027, and another cat is yelling at me. If you purchase the planner for 2027, the bonus is going to be that booklet is going to be included inside of your planner. So because I'm making that change over, and right now, for those of you who've purchased these planners with me for the last, I think we're at 4 or 5 years, because I'm making the change, I want you guys to still have all that information you normally have in your planner. That booklet will be included for everybody who purchases the planner for 2027, or so if you purchase it before the end of this year. So if you purchase it before December 31st of 2026, you will get the 2027 booklet in with your planner with no extra cost. Whereas if you want to just buy the booklet of the challenges, that will be available for purchase as well. Or you just get your emails like you do now with your PDFs, and you can continue to do it for free. So it's not to say that you have to pay to do the challenge now. You will always be free. It's just an option for those that like to have a physical thing in front of them. That option will be there. So that's one of the big changes with this year's or next year's planner, is going to be that those will be separate. In terms of the actual look of the planner, like I said, it's going to be the same size as it is now. It's going to be the same style in terms of a hardcover with the tabs. The tabs will continue to have pockets. All of those features will stay the same. One difference I may make, and this is, I'm still in the works of seeing if I can do both options, but currently our planner uses we have the rose gold kind of coils. I am looking into possibly moving it to the plastic rings like Happy Planner does, so that you can add pages. And I'm trying to see if I can do both options. For those that just want the coils, we can do the coils. For those that want to purchase the version with the rings, we will have the rings. If I can't do both options, I will decide exactly which way, but I think I like the Happy Planner style just because it allows you to add more to your book and also move things around if you don't like the order that it's in. It would be with the plastic Happy Planner kind of rings, but you can purchase from Happy Planner, or I'm going to see if I can bring them in metal versions if you want something a bit sturdier. So that is something that is still not 100%, but I am working on possibly the option of doing those plastic rings. I keep saying Happy Planner rings, but I know they're used for more than just them, but they started it. So if we do go that route, then I may even see about having extras of certain pages in bundles of say 10 or 25 that you can purchase to add to your book, because the sizing of the papers is slightly different than a normal piece of paper. So I need to make sure that if I go the Happy Planner route, the sizing should stay similar, but it may move just slightly to match the hole punches you can buy for it, because I want you guys to be able to add to it easily without having to do too much work. So that is, details on that will be more specific if that's the route we decide to go. But in terms of content, this is kind of where I'm at in this video, is I want to show more content, but I want to let you know of the ideas that are coming or are in the works, so that I can hear. Obviously, like I said, I want your feedback. We're still at a point where things can be changed or adjusted or things like that, or looked into. So like I said, comments below for any, feedback you have, any ideas you have. I want to hear them all. So first things first, I will show you just a few of the pages inside of, I wonder if I can move this. I have there, move that over there, move this over here. There we go. So I have changed it around. So before, the tabs were each month was a tab along here, and then you had a tab at the back for your resources and a tab at the front for your progress. So we had quite a few tabs in here, which does make it a bit bulkier. So we are going to move down to about 8 tabs instead of, right now we're at 14 altogether. So it will bring us down to like one nice row of tabs and then one extra. So the tabs are going to be moving to, instead of being each month, they're going to be very specific things, which we'll go through in a second. First things I want to show you is we have the cover art ready to go. So this is our new cover to the planner. So we are going to, like I said, it doesn't have a date anymore. And we're going to have a bit of fun with just making it into, like I said, your kind of your scrapbook. So not only are you able to use it for the time that you use it, most people it will be for 1 year, but then you can also save it after and kind of keep it as a keepsake and say, this is, the progress I made over this time. You can add on here, you can add a sticker that has the dates, or on the inside you can put the dates. So this is our cover. I'm going to try to get through this without showing off absolutely everything. And so this is where I'm talking about pages. Let me move myself smaller so you can see here. Go back to the cover because I realized that I was blocking some of it. So there's the cover. Now that my face is not in the way of some of it. Oops, that's on this screen, silly. There we go. So that is our cover, and this black writing will be in the rose gold that we usually do on the front covers, and we will still have the protective corners on the cover. Everything there will stay the same. And then on the first page in it, not only do you add your name now, you will put the dates. So if, you know what I mean, that is where you have that kind of keepsake side of things where you can put the dates of each and have that in there as well. I'm just going to go like this. So tab number 1 is going to be your goals and your plans. This is still a rough draft, so the names of things may change, but the concepts are kind of going to stay similar. So you're going to have a tab that is your goals, and inside that tab, which is not all completed yet, we are going to have all the pages to kind of keep track of just plans and goals and things you want to do, and it's kind of more of that brain dumping section of things that you want. Trying to, we're going to go like this in between. Doop, there, this, oh no, that's still, we're going to go like this. There. Now if I can scroll through, because I don't want to give away everything right away, I'm going to hide some of it for now. The next section is going to be, we're going to move me over. We're going to do this. Hide me over here. Kind of covers some of it. No, wait, I want to go. So then there's going to be the one which is your monthly plans. That is where it's going to have your undated style area, but that you can still use. So you can make this a 1-year planner as you wish as well. So this one, I'll show you a few sections, but you'll have a month. This is completely blank for the reason, and I may still add like little squares for you to, I haven't, this again, this is still a rough draft, but each month is going to be completely blank, so you can start it on Sundays or Mondays, And this is kind of just that, again, that brain dump of whatever you want to track for a month. If you want to track your stitches every day, you want to track what you worked on every day, you want to put your work schedule, these are for you to use. So there will be 12 of those in there. And if we go the Happy Planner route, I will have the option for you to grab bundles, or you can print and punch in more. So you'll have that every month. And then every month you will have your report card that we had before, just shrunk down a little bit, tracking of your progresses and your finishes, and just a few little reflection points each month. And then it will repeat. So then you'll have the next month. So each month is kind of together, so you can scroll through the months together. But if you want to deep dive into your weeks, which again, like I said, some people don't use it every single week. So this will give you, I'm just trying to scroll to it without, so that's the months all by themselves. And then there'll be a tab that is going to be one day at a time, which is kind of your daily sort of tracking for those that want to do it. Oh, really? You like that idea? We have cat screams. So in here, you're going to have that, this is in our planner now, but you're going to have that year at a glance thing, which does have the numbers because it is for the year. But again, if you purchase this in May, you can go from May and then to the May of the next year. You just adjust. I may take this out so that you can start from beginning, but we'll see as we finalize all this. I kind of just plopped some pages in place because I'm at that planning sort of idea stage. You're still going to have that daily, you can color this in every day you stitch kind of thing. And then we've condensed down the weeks into half pages so that you can put the week of, and you can put, like, if you don't use every week, you can just put the week of this to this, and then you could skip a couple weeks, the week of this to this, but it gives you a daily place for you to just kind of put how many stitches you did or what you worked on. A few little notes if there's, things you want to write. If you have a work schedule you want to put in, you have appointments you want to add, you can do so. The box here is just to put the date. So it would be April 1st or May, whatever. And then a little to-do spot section. So if you have specific to-dos you need to do that week, and there's going to be, I think there's 53 weeks. There's a little bit more than a full year's worth. And again, something that potentially could be purchased to add in if we go the Happy Planner route. If not, then you would just purchase a new planner, and or you can print out pages and just stick them in the pocket too, because each divider has pockets. You can if you print out more, you can just kind of fold them into the pockets and things like that. So that is tab number 3. The order of these may not stay the same. I may adjust the orders. The next tab will be just your whips and keeping track of your progress. As you, specific to instead of by dates, this is just the section that you take each project and kind of just brain dump all the information about it. So in this one is those progress trackers we have already. I am going to be adjusting this to make it a bit less, just a few ideas that I want to change on it. So it's not really going to change a ton, but it's going to change in a way that it gives you the ability to track your progress longer than 1 year should this project go beyond 1 year. So the nice thing with this type of planner too is if you turn around and you have projects that are like me that take years and years and years to do, you can have your planner, and then even if you go to another one because you filled it, you can keep that other one with like the whips section. You can go back to the other one, and there will be I'm going to add in a notes page at the beginning of your, there's some dotted paper right before it. You can make note of said project is in book number 1 if you have 2 books kind of thing. So you don't have to necessarily transfer it to the next one. You can always just refer back to it if you want, or you can transfer it over depending. So there will be a number of those progress trackers in there like they do this year. I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to put yet. It'll all depend on how big the rest of the book ends up, because I want to make the book a little bit thinner than this one is. And because we're going to have essentially 7 less tabs, that's going to take out the beef of it too, because this many tabs with the pockets does beef up the bottom of the book here. So with going less on the tabs, it's going to give me more room to add more papers. Whereas, so the size of it will be similar, probably a little bit smaller, but the beef of it is going to be smaller as well because we don't have 14 pockets in there. So the next section is going to be your stash one. That is going to be where you keep track of all of the things in your stash. So you'll have one to track your projects that you're working on. You'll have one for tracking your stash, which we kind of have most of these pages. These pages are going to change, but right now it's got, you know what I mean, your inventory with your, we have your fabric, your flood. These are literally the pages from the current one. As I said, I'm working on going through each thing and changing things up. So this whole section is going to beef up a bit more than it is now, and fun ways for you to keep track of what you have, what you purchase. There'll be some, you know, different trackers for purchase or for tracking if you want your budget or spending, or if there's a wish list, there'll be things like that in there. The next tab is going to be all about your finishes. As I said, these are rough, which is why that's all cut off. This is just kind of the brain dump section. So the finishes section is going to, right now I just have, this is the literally the page from our current planner, but this section is going to have like actual spots for you to celebrate each finish, and then it will give you a way to track what you're going to do with each finish. And I'm going to spell finish right on this year. I missed that typo, I think 2-3 years in a row so far. So you're going to have spaces in this finish section to not only celebrate said finish, but it's going to have some spots for you to plan what you're going to do with the finish. So if it's a gift, you can have a spot where you can put when you need to have it done, what you need to do to finish it. If it's something else, you can have a spot to put some ideas of how you want to finish it, or where you want to hang it, or different things like that. There will also be in here a couple pages with quick little tutorials on fun ways to finish a project. So like I said, there'll be little goodies throughout the entire planner that I'm not going to tell you all of it right away. I want you to find little Easter eggs within it as you get it. So this is kind of our first overview. So the next section is going to be a tab for your stitch alongs and your challenges. The challenge itself, like I said, is not going to be in here, but it is going to be a section that's going to have trackers. So you can, if you do 4 stitch alongs a year, it will have little trackers that you can use for each one. That will allow you to just track like when it starts, when it releases, what you finished, what you need to download, that sort of thing. And then same thing with challenges. There will be blank trackers, because I know my challenge isn't the only challenge out there. You may be doing other ones, or you may set your own personal challenges. There will be sections with trackers to set up your own challenges, as well as a page with some ideas on different challenges you can personally do for yourself. So if there's a month that you're like, oh, I just really can't get into stitching, but I really want to, there'll be a little spot that says, hey, why don't you try doing this? Just fun ways to inspire you to get in and stitch stuff. And then there will be, like I said, a section with some patterns. I'm not specifying exactly what I'm putting in there yet, because that is going to be one of those surprises, but they will be things that can be reusable. So it's a section that you can reference again and again. Now, if you purchase the planner, fill it for the year, and by the time we get to 2028, you're repurchasing it, and we're still in the same version, then those patterns will be the same. So you will end up duplicating on that, but they're going to be patterns that are good references to use all the time. So you don't have to go back to that first one that you filled to grab those same patterns. If we're into a new version of the planner, this is where things may change. So these patterns may change just a little bit. It won't be full changes like it is right now, where it's a completely different theme. It's just that, you know, maybe the text will look a little bit different if there's text in it, or any little patterns we may change up a few of them. But this will be a section that are patterns that are good for you to reference over and over. So if you fill one, you purchase the thing again, and you have the same patterns in there. As much as, yes, it's duplicate patterns, but you don't have to go grab that old book to grab these patterns to write, you know, put your name on something, or put a quick text on something, or make a quick card for somebody. They're right there for you to reuse year over year. So those are going to be much more useful patterns on a repeat basis, we'll say. That's why I'm not giving you ideas of what exactly I'm doing yet, because I'm still trying to work out exactly how I can make this a good section that if you have it more than once, it's just a good section to have with you at all times, kind of those patterns that you want to reference back often. And then the last section will be that same section we have right now, which is the resource section, and that will be filled with the conversion chart we have now. It will have spots with the dictionary that we have, just different notes sections. I'm trying to think of other fun things I can add into the resources, things that you kind of reference over and over while you're stitching. So that is the first view of the planner for next year. Or, well, it's not just for next year, but the change in how the planner is going to be. I do appreciate if you have any feedback to give it to me. I am not offended if you say, hey, I would rather this or this or this. Not going to say that I'm going to make every change that you guys mentioned, but I am happy to take the information and use it when I plan these things. So right now I'm still like this. I'm still working out all of the complete details, so that's the next couple weeks. I'm diving into doing that. So if you've got feedback or things you'd really love to see, or there's a reference thing that you always use, so like a sizing chart, I know we have that in there, but if there's certain things that you're always going back to and you would love to see it in your planner, comment below or private message me if there's something you don't want to put out publicly, but you want to give your feedback in a more private manner. You can message me. And we can see what we can do. Like I said, I'm not going to always put every suggestion in, but I do listen to the suggestions and I do take them to heart when I am planning these. So I will have the actual physical sample, hopefully at least by the end of June, we'll say. It depends, how quickly I can get all of the innards done in the book. And I will specify exactly if we're going to stick to the complete coil or if we're going to move to the Happy Planner style. Just it gives it more longevity in the book, and you can continue to add to it and reuse the same book over and over. And then I would essentially, ideally, have bundles of the things I know you're going to use a lot of, so the project planners and the months and the days and that stuff, so you can add them in and continue, and then you can take out the oldest stuff and put it somewhere and make, you can have, because you can buy those the plastic rings, you can buy them, or you can buy metal versions. So you can start to, essentially my thought process on it is that as you're working through your year, you get close to say December, and you can take out months, add blank months, take those ones and start a second book and keep it as, instead of buying one over and over. And this is a way for you not to buy one from me every year. So you can kind of make your own little scrapbook as you pull pages out of it and just purchase the blank pages, which would cost you less than buying the book over and over. Obviously, you're welcome to buy the book over and over if that's the way you want to go. But I don't want to make these where it's like, oh, every year I have to fork out the $55 plus the shipping, plus this, plus that. Whereas if after the first year, you still have a lot that you're working within the book and you just need some more progress planners and you need some more of specific pages. Not every page is going to be available from me in bulk, but I want to be able to do, say, like the months, the weeks, the project planners, the finish pages, those sort of things, and have just bundles of them where I can just send you a bundle of 25 or something, and you can continue to use the book you have and just purchase the fillings, we'll say. So that's ideally if I can get it to work where I don't make the planners cost more to you, because I don't want to increase the price in any way. I want to be able to keep the price the same as it is, but add more goodies. That's always my goal with them. So I think that is all for today in terms of the planner. I hope you guys like the changes. I know I've had a lot of feedback. I know there's a few people that prefer having the specific dates, but I hope that overall this is a good change for everybody. And then when it comes time for the challenges for 2027 and the theme of the patterns, those will be, like I said, in a magazine. And I have not a sample with my information, but a blank sample from a company, but it's just essentially like a normal magazine. The inside pages, though, will be stuff you can write on, because obviously you need to be able to mark off your challenge. So they'll just be like kind of little notebooks in a way. And then the planner will be the big hard-covered kind of book itself. So the other one will be a little more portable as well. Zumi has brought us her spring. And there are some other goodies that are going to be coming for 2027. We're going to be doing some new of the notebooks, a little more, instead of just a blank dot journal, I'm going to try to, there's going to be a version of this that is kind of like a daily journal, where you can write notes every day, doodles every day, kind of like a more of a, if you don't like to do planning and you don't want the big thing, or if you just want to mark what you're doing while you're on the go, there will be versions of these, the small one and the big one, that you can just say, it's just going to have like the date, what I did today. So you can just quickly doodle it so you can transfer it to your book when you get home, that kind of thing. Because I don't want to make the planner smaller to make it mobile, because with the amount of information that is in it, having it smaller makes it very hard to add as much to a page. And then if I put less on a page, that means this book would be twice as thick, but it would be smaller, which doesn't really make it any more portable. So this is staying this size, but I want to be able to provide notebook options that you can just make your doodles to transfer to this when you're sitting at a desk, so that you can color and add stickers and make this fun. But you have your information on the go with a notebook. So I hope you guys like the changes that are coming. I will have more information as we go. I am going to put the pre-order up in the next, I'm going to say, week or so. The pre-order is just, first of all, it's going to guarantee you your planner. It's going to have it paid for now, so you don't have to think about it later. It is going to have the option to do a payment plan. So if you want to do it in like a 3-payment sort of thing, that will be an option until about August. Then I stop those, just because I want your payments to be done so you get your planner in time for the new year. At this stage, it's not going to say that if I get 500 pre-orders right now, that you can't get one later. It's going to give me the idea of how many more I need to bring beyond the pre-orders. So what I usually do is if by July I've sold, in terms of pre-orders, 200, then I know bringing in that 500 that I usually bring in is going to be fine. Whereas if I, for some reason, have 500 of them sold by July, then I know I need to bring in more. So there's always going to be more available when they land, because I'm always going to bring extra in above what's pre-ordered. So it's not to say, if you don't pre-order, you're not going to get one. That's not the case. We're still going to have them. Once we hit the July-August range, then I'm going to say, this is how many I'm bringing in for the first round. If you want one for January, you better grab one, as you'll see the stock number on the item. So you'll know, okay, there's 100 left. I should be okay for a month, or there's, only 10 left. I better grab it now. But because this isn't a dated version, I will be able to reprint and get another stock. So if it ends up that I bring in, say, 500 and they're sold out by October before the year even begins, I could bring in more of the exact same version to fill, because I don't have to redo anything in it. I can bring in more because it's not dated, so I'm not worried about having all these extras into the new year sort of thing. So it's not, putting the pre-order up doesn't mean you have to do it now. It is just for those that want to be ready and all set to go. So comment below if you have any thoughts about the planners or anything like that. I hope this was a little peek into the fun that is going to be 2027. There'll be lots of more goodies of information throughout the summer for this as well. So keep an eye out into June at some point. Once I have the actual physical sample, I will show it off to you again. For now, that is the start of our planner sneak peek, and we will talk again soon.